Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech, and in this video, I'll be performing the gaming review, battery drain test and the heat test of the Samsung Galaxy S24. Now here are some basic specifications. This phone comes with a 6.2-inch AMOLED display with Full HD Plus resolution, 120Hz screen refresh rate and a peak brightness of 2600 nits. As for performance, it comes with a Samsung's Exynos 2400 processor with Eclipse 940 GPU. S24 version comes with 8GB of LPDDR5X RAM and up to 512GB of UFS 4.0 storage. In the battery department, it comes with a 4000 mAh battery and supports fast charging up to 25 watts. You can charge your phone from 0 to 50% in about 50 minutes with a compatible charger. It also supports wireless charging and reverse wireless charging. And it also comes with dual stereo speakers and they sound really good. Now for this gaming review, I'll be just playing BGMI or Battlegrounds Mobile India or PUBG, whatever you want to call it. Now here's my current setup. There is just a single light on one side. Phone currently has 56% battery. There is an AC running in the background at 26 degrees and the room temperature is also 26 degrees. Now let's check the temperature of the phone first. Now the phone has been pretty much idle, so this is a standard temperature you can say. On the front, I've seen a maximum of 31 degrees. On the back, I've seen a maximum of 31 degrees. Now I'll start the timer and start playing BGMI. Okay, let's first look at the graphics. There's smooth graphics with extreme frame rate and we also have 90 FPS option. And there's also HDR graphics and extreme frame rate. We also have Ultra HDR graphics. We have to download that. While it downloads, let me play the game in HDR graphics settings with extreme frame rate. Now let's get to the game. Visuals are great and details are sharp. Shadows, particles and lighting effects are all pretty good. HDR graphics make colors look a bit more saturated, but they do look nice. Controls are smooth but can be a bit more smoother. It doesn't feel as smooth with the current game settings, especially when compared to other devices. Game's haptic engine is also pretty good and the sound from the speakers is very immersive. It definitely enhances your overall gaming experience. It's almost as if you're having speakers around you and listening while playing the game. It's really immersive. Overall, I didn't notice any major lags, but the game could have been much smoother. This is obviously a flagship phone, so at least I expected it to perform a bit more smoother. Next, I'm going to change the graphic settings to smooth graphics with 90 FPS. First thing I noticed are the faded colors. It doesn't look that saturated, it looks a bit faded. Sharpness is intact and nice. Overall graphics are still looking good, but it lacks a little bit of realism that's available in the higher settings. There are no details like shadows or lighting effects, but the game is much smoother to play. Controls are great and there's a significant difference in maneuvering. Now it feels more fun to play than in higher graphics. I'm just talking about the gameplay, like it's much more smoother. In Ultra HDR graphics settings with Ultra frame rate, image looks a bit sharper, but most people can't notice the difference between HDR and Ultra HDR, and the gameplay isn't that smooth either. Now let's check the temperature of the phone. On the front, I've seen a maximum of 41 degrees. And on the back, once again, I've seen a maximum of 41 degrees. I played this game for about 21 minutes. And phone feels slightly hot on both sides, and the battery percentage right now is 47%. So for approximately 20 minutes of gameplay, phone consumed 9% of battery. It's not bad, but it could have been better. Like it has a smaller screen, Full HD Plus resolution and a flagship processor, so I guess battery consumption is a bit more than when you compare it with other flagships. Anyway, I'd say battery drain is okay, not a major issue. But heating issue is something you should definitely take into consideration. Now for the heat test, I'll be taking pictures continuously using both the front and rear cameras for 3 minutes and then check the temperature. Once again, there is an AC running in the background at 26 degrees and the room temperature is 26 degrees. Now I'll reset the timer and start taking pictures. Capturing speeds are incredibly fast. In these 3 minutes, I've taken about 968 photos. Now let's check the temperature of the phone. On the front, I've seen a maximum of 51 degrees. On the back side, it fluctuates way from 41 degrees to 50 degrees. Especially on the back near the camera, it fluctuates from 47 degrees to 50 degrees. Now the phone feels very hot. Now right after the heat test, I tried using the phone to see if there is any kind of throttling, but I didn't notice any kind of throttling, like there is no frame drops in animations or regular usage, but the phone definitely is pretty hot. By the way, I have played Genshin Impact on this phone as well at the highest graphic settings. For some reason, colors didn't look too saturated. Like I played it on iQOO 12 a lot, and on that phone colors look a bit more saturated, and when compared to iQOO 12, colors on S24 look a bit faded. They're not super saturated. Maybe I like those colors. But anyway, colors were not popping out a lot. If it was a game like PUBG, I want realism, but this is like an anime game. So a bit more saturated colors would have been looked better. And the gameplay was also not smooth. Like on iQOO 12 or even on OnePlus 12, we have features like frame interpolation and super resolution. But on Samsung, we don't have anything like that to improve the game frame rate. So that's another thing that's missing on the S24. So guys, overall gaming performance of this phone is pretty good, but I would recommend you not to play games like PUBG, BGMI or Genshin Impact because the phone is getting pretty hot. For smaller games, it's definitely not going to be a problem. Now the problem with this phone is not about processing power, but it's about heat management. So you can play games, but your phone will get hot pretty frequently, so it's very inconvenient. So for gamers, I'll definitely not recommend this phone. And as for battery drain test, I'll say it does a decent job considering this phone has a smaller 4000 mAh battery. But still, it's not impressive either. As for heating issues, yes, there are heating issues. There is no throttling, but the phone does get pretty hot on intensive usage. All this test has been done in a room temperature of 26 degrees. So if you go out, if it's summer, if it's too hot, then the phone's gonna become much hotter. So overall, S24 is definitely a pretty good phone, but not for heavy users and definitely not for gamers. So guys, that's all I have to say about the Samsung S24. What do you think about this video? What do you think about our test? Do let me know by commenting below this video. And if you like this video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and do subscribe to our channel. With that said, see you next time. Bye-bye.